The alarm screamed through every corridor of the Galactic Union station. Commander's crystalline body flickered with stress colors as he stared at the display. A ship was dying out there in the dark. The human colony vessel had sent its final distress call before the pirates tore it apart. "Should we respond?" asked his second officer, a being made mostly of gas held together by a containment suit. Knew the answer should be no. The swarm was too dangerous. They had destroyed 12 stations this cycle alone. His station had no weapons, no military. They were scientists, traders, and families. Sending help would be suicide. But he thought of the children on that colony ship. Someone had to know. Someone had to care. Against every rule, sent the coordinates into open space. Then he waited, knowing he had probably just killed everyone on his station. 3 days later, something appeared on the sensors. A ship had arrived, but not from any known species. It was dark gray, covered in strange angles and heavy plating. Nothing like the elegant curves of civilized ships. This looked like it was built to ram through walls. The ship sent a communication request. The universal translator struggled for a moment, then produced words. "This is captain of the human vessel. We received your distress signal. Permission to dock and discuss rescue operations." Humans had never heard of them. He checked the galactic database and found nothing. These beings were completely unknown. "Permission granted," said, because what else could he say? 4 figures materialized in the transport bay. Felt his crystals crack slightly from shock. These creatures were terrifying. They stood upright on 2 legs with thick bodies that suggested crushing gravity. Their eyes faced forward like predators. When one of them smiled, saw teeth designed for tearing meat. "I'm Captain," said the tallest one. His voice was deep and calm. "This is Lieutenant, Engineer Ben and Medic. We're here to help." Tried to compose himself. "Help! The swarm destroyed the colony ship. There's nothing left to save." "There are survivors," said, looking at a device on her wrist. "We tracked their escape pods, 23 life signs drifting toward the asteroid field." "How did you get here so fast?" asked. "That distress call was only 3 days ago. The nearest civilized world is 2 weeks away." "Our ships are fast," said simply. "We need to move now, they might come back." Led them to the command center. Other aliens backed away as the humans passed. Their heavy footsteps echoed like drums. They moved with a confidence that seemed almost aggressive. In the command center, Ben studied their systems with interest. "Your station is beautiful," he said, running his hand along a control panel. "Very efficient design." "Please don't touch that," squeaked a small alien technician. "The surface temperature is harmful." Ben looked confused. "It's barely warm." The technician's 3 eyes widened. "It's 90 degrees. That's emergency heat levels." Ben shrugged and continued examining the equipment. The small alien fainted. Immediately went to help, pulling out a medical kit. She worked with gentle efficiency, checking the alien's vital signs. Her touch was careful despite her thick fingers. Approached with a data pad. "We need information about the attack pattern. We'll need to go in fast and extract the survivors before they return." "You can't fight said desperately. "They have 30 warships in their fleet. You're 1 ship." "We're human," said, as if that explained everything. "We don't abandon people." A station worker offered the humans refreshments, picked up a glass of water and drank it without hesitation. The worker's face went pale. "Stop, that water has trace minerals. It's filtered for our biology but contains compounds that are toxic to most species." "Finish the glass. Tastes fine to me. A bit metallic maybe." The station doctor approached nervously. "May I scan you for medical records in case of emergency?" Nodded, "Go ahead." Ran his scanner over the 4 humans. His face went through several colors as he read the results. "This can't be right," he muttered. "Your bone density is impossible. Your muscle composition is like compressed steel. You have redundant organs. Your blood carries an immune system that attacks everything foreign. Your healing factor is—" He looked up at them in horror. "What kind of world do you come from?" Earth said softly, "It's home." "Earth is classified as a Class 12, whispered, checking his database. "Extreme gravity, violent weather, aggressive predator species, toxic atmosphere composition, deadly microorganisms. Nothing civilized could evolve there." "We did," said. His voice carried no pride, just fact. "And right now we have people to save." Looked at these strange, terrifying beings. They had come across impossible distances to save strangers. They drank poison and touched burning metal without flinching. They had no fear in their eyes, only determination. For the first time since the attack, felt something like hope. These humans were dangerous, yes. But maybe, just maybe, they were dangerous in the right way. "I'll give you everything we have on this," said. "And may the stars help them if they come back." Smiled, showing those predator teeth again. They should hope they don't. Outside the station, they waited in silence. Its weapons systems were powered down, but its hull bore scars from 100 battles. This was a ship that had seen war and survived. Inside that ship were more humans, all waiting for orders. And somewhere in the asteroid field, 23 survivors huddled in damaged escape pods, not knowing that the most dangerous species in the galaxy was coming to save them. The rescue would have to wait, though, because 3 hours later, sensors detected something new. 30 warships had just entered the system, and they were heading straight for the station. Doctor couldn't stop staring at the medical data. He had scanned hundreds of species in his career, but nothing prepared him for humans. Every reading seemed designed to give him nightmares. He approached in the medical bay, where she was organizing her supplies. She looked up with a warm smile that somehow made her forward-facing eyes less terrifying. "Can we talk about your biology?" asked carefully. "I need to understand in case there's an emergency." "Of course," said. She sat down and gestured for him to join her. "What do you want to know?" Pulled up his scanner data. "Your bones are incredibly dense, 4 times denser than any species I've seen. Why?" "Earth has strong gravity," explained. "Our bodies adapted to handle it. We need strong bones to support our weight and survive falls." "Falls?" His voice rose. "You fall often." "Sometimes. We climb, run, jump. If we fall and break something, we heal and try again." Felt dizzy. "Your healing factor is terrifying. You can recover from injuries that would kill most species. You have a backup cardiovascular system. Your blood clots in seconds. Your immune system attacks foreign objects with extreme aggression. How do you survive your own bodies?" Laughed. It was a pleasant sound which somehow made it worse. "Our bodies are tough because Earth is tough. We have predators, diseases, parasites, extreme temperatures, and natural disasters. Humans who couldn't adapt didn't survive to have children." "Predators?" repeated weakly. "Your planet has things that hunt you." "Not anymore. We're the apex predators now, but our ancestors were prey once. That's why we evolved to run long distances, heal fast, and fight back." She paused. "Is that scary to hear?" "Absolutely," admitted, "but I'm beginning to understand." Across the station, Ben was working in the engineering section with a team of nervous technicians. He had his hands inside a power conduit that glowed with heat. "Sir, please," one technician begged. "That conduit is operating at critical temperature. You'll damage your tissue." Ben pulled out a fused connector and examined it. "This is your problem. The metal expanded from heat stress and created a short. You need better cooling." "We know, but we can't enter that section when it's active. We have to wait 6 hours for it to cool down." "I can fix it now," Ben said, reaching back into the conduit. The technician watched in horror as Ben worked in temperatures that should have melted flesh. Steam rose from Ben's arms, but he didn't seem bothered. 5 minutes later, he emerged with a satisfied smile. "All done. Your power flow should be stable now. The technician ran a diagnostic. It's perfect, but how? Aren't you in pain? Ben looked at his reddened arms. Yeah, it stings a bit. I'll put some cream on it later. It'll heal in a day or two. Meanwhile, in the station's observation deck, was explaining Earth to a small crowd of fascinated and terrified aliens. A hologram of Earth rotated above her hand, showing a blue and green planet covered in swirling white clouds. "This is our home," said. "It doesn't look dangerous, but it's one of the most hostile planets in the galaxy." "The gravity?" asked a floating jellyfish-like alien. "That's just the start. Earth has massive storms that can destroy cities. We have earthquakes that crack the ground open. We have volcanoes that turn the sky black. We have temperature swings from freezing to boiling. We have droughts, floods, wildfires, and tornadoes." The alien stared in silence. "And the life?" asked another. Smiled. "Earth is packed with life. Millions of species all competing for resources. Many of them can kill us. Bacteria, viruses, parasites, venomous insects, large predators. We learn to survive by being smarter and more adaptable than everything else." "But why stay?" asked a young alien child. "Why not leave such a terrible place?" Knelt down to the child's level. "Because it's not terrible to us. It's home. All that danger taught us to work together, to take care of each other, and to never give up. Earth made us strong, but it also made us kind." In the command center, Captain was meeting with Commander and a new arrival. This tactical officer had just transported aboard with additional crew. He was shorter than but moved with the same predator grace. "They will be here in 3 hours," said, studying the tactical display. "They're not subtle. They'll come in fast and hit hard." "Can you fight them?" asked desperately. And exchanged glances. "We can try," said carefully. "Your ship is outnumbered 30-1, said. "We've faced worse," said. It wasn't a boast, just a statement of fact. Doctor appeared in the doorway, clutching his scanner. "Commander, you need to see this. I've been studying human combat biology." He projected his findings onto the main screen. The aliens gasped. When humans face danger, their bodies release a chemical called adrenaline. It increases their strength, speed, and pain tolerance. Their pupils dilate for better vision. Their heart rate increases to pump more blood. Their breathing deepens. Their body literally transforms for combat. "Like a battle mode," whispered. "Worse," said, "because they also lose fear. Their rational mind steps back and their survival instinct takes over. They become pure fighting machines." "That's not quite accurate," said, joining them. "We don't lose fear. We just choose to act despite it. That's called courage." "You face death and choose to fight anyway?" an alien asked in disbelief. "Sometimes fighting is the only option," said, "especially when we're protecting others." Pulled up a file on Earth's history. Our species almost went extinct several times. Ice ages, volcanic eruptions, droughts, plagues. Every time we survived by adapting and helping each other. That's what we do. We survive and we protect those who can't protect themselves. The aliens in the command center looked at the humans with new understanding. These weren't mindless predators. They were survivors who had learned that strength meant nothing without compassion. "Made a decision. What do you need from us?" "Just stay safe," said. "Get your people to secure areas. We'll handle the—" "You're 4 humans against a fleet," protested. Smiled. "We're not alone. We have 60 more crew on and every single one of them is from Earth." Activated a communication channel. "All hands, this is tactical. We have hostiles incoming. Standard protocol. Remember, they think we're soft because we help people. Let's show them what happens when you threaten those under human protection." Through the speakers came a sound that made every alien's blood run cold. 60 human voices responding with a battle cry that echoed from ancient Earth. Doctor looked at his scanner one more time, then shut it off. "The medical data doesn't matter anymore. I understand now what you are." "What's that?" asked gently. "You're the galaxy's mistake," said. "Nature tried to kill you with everything it had. Instead, it created something that refuses to die and refuses to let others die either." Outside, the fleet approached. They had no idea what they were about to face. The fleet dropped out of faster-than-light travel like a swarm of angry insects. 30 warships, each bristling with weapons, surrounded the station in a perfect attack formation. They had done this 100 times before. Find a weak target, destroy it, take everything valuable, leave nothing behind. Commander watched from the command center as his worst nightmare unfolded. The station's shields flickered under the first scanning beams. They had maybe 5 minutes before they opened fire. "All civilians to the core shelters," he ordered, his crystalline body pulsing with fear colors. "Seal all." "Belay that order," Captain said calmly. He stood at the tactical display like he was reviewing a weather report, not a death sentence. "Keep everyone where they are for now." "But they'll kill us all," said. "Not if we kill them first," replied. He was already moving toward the transport bay. "Sara, with me. We're going to the outer sections to prepare defensive positions." Noticed a new human had joined them. Sara was smaller than the others but moved with the same dangerous grace. She carried equipment that looked disturbingly like weapons. "You have weapons?" asked. "The Galactic Union banned personal weapons centuries ago." "Earth didn't get that memo," Sara said, checking her equipment. "We come from a world where everything wants to kill us. We learned to fight back." Tapped his communication device. "This is Captain, weapons free. Engage when ready." The human ship suddenly came alive. Lights flared along its hull as weapon systems powered up. The fleet noticed and began moving to surround it. What happened next would be talked about in every bar and station across the galaxy for years. They didn't dodge or run. It accelerated directly toward the fleet. Its engines burned so bright that sensors registered them as small suns. The ship moved with impossible speed, pulling maneuvers that should have crushed its crew under the force. "How are they surviving those turns?" the station's pilot whispered. "The G-forces alone should kill them." "Remember the gravity," Doctor said quietly. "They're built for forces that would us." The first ship fired. Plasma bolts that could melt through station armor struck this hull. The shots left scorch marks but didn't penetrate. The human ship was built like a tank. Then the fired back. Instead of energy weapons, it used what the database called kinetic weapons. Solid metal slugs fired at incredible speeds. The weapons were ancient by galactic standards, considered barbaric and inefficient. The first slug punched through a warship like it was paper. The ship exploded in a ball of fire. "Impossible," breathed. "One shot, one kill." "Kinetic energy," Ben explained from his position at the engineering station. "Mass times velocity squared. We accelerate metal to a fraction of light speed. It doesn't matter how good your shields are. Physics doesn't care." The fleet scattered, their perfect formation breaking apart. They weren't used to prey that fought back. They certainly weren't used to prey that fought better than them. On the station, and Sara had taken positions near the docking ports. They knew they would try to board. It's what pirates did when their ships were losing. "Contact," Sara said calmly. She was watching a motion sensor. 20 hostiles coming through docking port 7. The warriors burst through the door. They were large, armored creatures with 4 arms and thick exoskeletons. Each one carried plasma rifles and blade weapons. They had terrorized the galaxy for decades. They charged down the corridor expecting frightened civilians. Instead, they found 2 human women waiting for them. Raised her weapon. It looked crude compared to plasma rifles. It used chemical explosions to propel metal, just like their ship's weapons. The sound it made was like thunder in the enclosed space. 3 dropped before they understood what was happening. The rest dove for cover, but Sara was already moving. She didn't run away. She ran toward them. The security cameras recorded everything. watched from the command center as Sora closed the distance with impossible speed. A warrior swung a blade at her. She ducked under it, grabbed his arm, and used his own momentum to throw him into a wall. The impact left a crater in the metal. Another aimed his rifle at her back. Weapon spoke again. The fell. "They're fighting hand to hand," whispered, "against armored warriors, and they're winning." One managed to land a blow on Sora. His blade cut across her shoulder, drawing blood. She didn't scream or retreat. She looked at the wound, then at and smiled. It was not a friendly smile. What happened next was too fast for most species to follow. Sora moved like a creature built for hunting. Every movement was efficient, deadly, purposeful. In 30 seconds, 5 warriors lay unconscious or worse. The remaining did something they had never done before. They ran. "They're retreating," an alien technician said in disbelief. "They are retreating." "From 2 humans," another added. In space, the battle was turning into a massacre. They had destroyed 5 more ships. The rest were breaking formation, trying to escape, but the human ship was faster. It hunted them down one by one. Inside the command center, watched the tactical display with cold precision. "Target the command ship. If we take out their leader, the rest will scatter." "The command ship has triple shields," protested. "Then we'll hit it 3 times," said simply. They lined up its shot. The first kinetic round struck the command ship's shields. They flared and held. The second round hit the same spot. The shields flickered. The third round punched through and tore into the ship's main reactor. The command ship didn't explode. It simply went dark, floating dead in space. The remaining ships stopped fighting. Their leader was gone. Their boarding parties were defeated. They were facing something they had never encountered before. They were facing humans. And humans, they learned, were what happened when a planet spent millions of years trying to kill a species and only made it stronger. A communication came through from the second in command. His voice was shaky, full of fear. "We surrender, please, we surrender." "Looked at your station, Commander, your call." Thought about all the stations they had destroyed, all the innocent lives taken. Part of him wanted revenge. But then he looked at who was treating wounded aliens with gentle hands. He thought about what had told the child. Earth made humans strong, but it also made them kind. "Let them go," said, "but take their weapons, and send a message to every pirate in the galaxy. Tell them what happened here." Nodded and opened a channel to the, "You have 1 hour to leave this system. Leave your weapons behind. If you ever attack civilians again, we'll find you. And next time we won't be so merciful." The fleet jumped to faster-than-light travel, so fast they left scorch marks in space. Silence fell over the station. Then slowly the aliens began to cheer. They had survived. They had saved them. The celebration was short-lived. 30 minutes after the fleet retreated, sensors picked up a new signal. The flagship hadn't actually left. It had circled back, using the gas giant's magnetic field to hide. The commander wasn't giving up. He was coming for revenge. "They're going to board the station," said, studying the approach vector. "The flagship is too damaged to fight in space, so they're going to try to take us from the inside." "How many warriors are on that ship?" asked, his crystals flickering with fear. "At least 200, Doctor said, checking his database on military structure. And they're angry now. This won't be a quick raid. They'll try to kill everyone." Looked at his small team. 4 humans on the station, 60 more on the, against 200 warriors bred for combat. "We need to think like humans," he said calmly. "What's our advantage?" "We know the station," Ben said immediately. "They don't." "We know how things work," added. "They just break things." "And we're smarter," Sora said with a dangerous smile. "They think like predators. We think like survivors." Nodded. "Then we don't fight them directly. We use the station against them." Within minutes, the humans had a plan. It was crazy, dangerous, and used every system on the station in ways they were never designed for. In other words, it was perfectly human. Ben got to work in engineering. He rerouted the environmental controls, creating zones of extreme temperature and atmosphere composition. What was breathable air for station residents would be toxic to biology. "I can't believe I'm weaponizing life support," Ben muttered as he worked. "Earth taught us to use everything we have," said, helping him rewire systems. "On our world, survival isn't about being the strongest, it's about being the." Meanwhile was in security, accessing every camera and sensor on the station. He wasn't just watching. He was studying behavior, looking for patterns. A new human had arrived from the. Her name was, and she was the ship's. While everyone else prepared for battle, she was calmly watching video footage of the warriors from the first boarding attempt. "Fascinating," she muttered, making notes. "Their communication is primarily pheromone-based. Look at the way they move in coordinated groups. They're not just working together, they're chemically linked." "Can you use that?" asked. Looked up with bright eyes. "Oh yes. If we can disrupt their pheromone signals, we can break their coordination. They'll be confused, aggressive toward each other, maybe even attack their own people." "How do we disrupt pheromones?" "Chemical compounds. I can synthesize them in the medical lab. Give me 20 minutes." The flagship docked with the station like a parasite latching onto a host. The boarding doors blew open and warriors poured through. They moved in tight formations, weapons ready, expecting resistance. Instead, they found empty corridors. The lights were dim. The air felt wrong. "Where are they?" growled the commander. He was massive, covered in scars from 100 battles. "Find them, kill them all." His warriors spread through the station in organized groups. They had done this countless times. They knew how to clear a station efficiently. But this station fought back. The first group entered a maintenance section. Suddenly, the temperature spiked to levels that made their exoskeletons crack. Steam filled the air. They retreated, confused and burned. The second group found a corridor leading to the residential area. Halfway through, the artificial gravity reversed. They slammed into the ceiling at forces that broke bones. Before they could recover, the gravity reversed again, throwing them back down. The third group made it to the commercial district. The lights went out. In the darkness, they heard sounds, footsteps, breathing, something moving around them. Then Sora struck. She moved through the darkness like a ghost, her eyes adapted to the low light better than vision. She didn't kill them. She just disabled them, one by one, leaving them unconscious and terrified. The commander realized they were being hunted. The prey had become predators. He roared orders, trying to regroup his forces. But then the smell hit. Strange chemicals pumped through the ventilation system. His warriors began acting erratically. Some attacked each other. Others wandered in circles, lost and confused. "What is this?" he screamed into his communicator. His voice came through the station speakers. "It's called chemistry. We're disrupting your pheromone communication. You're not warriors anymore. You're just confused, angry individuals." The commander smashed his communicator and started hunting. He would find these humans himself and tear them apart. He tracked Heat's signature to the observation deck. The human captain stood alone, looking out at the stars. He didn't even turn when the commander entered. "You should have run," the commander growled. "Now you die." "Should I?" Finally turned. His expression was calm, almost patient. "You know what humans are good at, Commander. We're good at waiting. We're good at watching. We're good at understanding our prey." "I'm not prey," the commander snarled. "I'm the hunter." "You were," said quietly. "On every other world you're the apex predator, but you made a mistake. You attacked someone under human protection." The commander charged. He was fast, strong, bred for combat, but was human. He was born on a world where everything tried to kill him, and he learned to kill back. The fight lasted 3 minutes. To the aliens watching on security cameras, it looked like a dance. The commander was all aggression and strength, was precision and patience. He waited for openings. He used the commander's momentum against him. He turned the observation deck into a hunting ground. Finally stood over the fallen commander. "You're defeated. Order your warriors to surrender." The commander laughed, blood dripping from his mouth. "You think you've won. More fleets will come. More warriors. We don't stop." "Neither do we," said. "But here's the difference. We don't hunt for fun or profit. We hunt to protect, and we're very, very good at it." He opened a communication channel. "All warriors, this is Captain. Your commander is defeated. You have two choices. Surrender now, or we continue using the station against you. We can do this for days. Can you?" They had never been defeated like this. Not in battle, but through tactics, intelligence, and pure stubborn determination. One by one, the warriors dropped their weapons. Watched it all from the command center. "How?" he asked. "How did you do this?" Smiled tiredly. "We didn't fight like warriors. We fought like humans. We used everything we had. The station, the environment, psychology, chemistry. Earth taught us that survival isn't about being the strongest. It's about being the most adaptable." And added, "We learned that sometimes the scariest weapon isn't a gun. It's a mind that refuses to give up." The station was quiet now. The prisoners were secured in cargo holds, stripped of weapons, and waiting for Galactic Union peacekeepers to arrive. The damaged sections were being repaired. Life was slowly returning to normal. But nothing would ever be truly normal again. The aliens had seen what humans could do. Commander found Captain in the observation deck, staring at the stars. The human looked tired but peaceful. "You saved us," said softly. "We were ready to die and you saved us." "You sent that distress call," replied. "You gave those colony ship survivors a chance. We just finished the job." "But why?" Crystals pulsed with confusion. "We're strangers to you. Different species, different worlds. You risked everything for people you don't even know. Why?" Was quiet for a moment, thinking. "Let me tell you about Earth," he finally said. "Our planet tried to kill us in every way possible. Storms, earthquakes, diseases, predators, ice ages. We should have gone extinct a dozen times. But you didn't." "No, and you know why. Because when times got hard, we didn't turn on each other. We learned to work together. We learned that the strongest human isn't the one who can fight the best. It's the one who helps others survive." He turned to face. "That's what makes us human, not our strength or our weapons. It's our choice to help, even when it's hard." Felt something shift in his understanding. These weren't monsters. They were protectors born from the teacher in the galaxy. In the medical bay, was treating the last of the wounded aliens. A small child with blue fur watched her with wide eyes. "Are you really from the child asked. "Yes," said gently as she bandaged a cut. "Earth is very dangerous." "Then why aren't you scary?" Smiled. "Being from a dangerous place doesn't mean you have to be dangerous. It means you understand how precious safety is. You understand how important it is to protect others." The child's parent approached, tears in their eyes. "Thank you for everything." "That's what we do," said simply. Across the station, Ben was helping repair the systems he'd modified during the battle. The alien engineers watched him work with new respect. "Your methods are unusual," one technician said. "You use systems in ways they weren't designed for." "That's human engineering," Ben explained. "On Earth, we couldn't always build new tools. We had to make what we had work better. Innovation comes from necessity." "Can you teach us?" the technician asked hopefully. Ben grinned. "I'd be happy to." In the command center, representatives from the Galactic Union had arrived via faster-than-light communication. The holographic council of alien species stared at the humans with mixed expressions of fear and fascination. "The Galactic Union thanks you for protecting Station and defeating the threat," the council leader said formally. "However, We must address the matter of Earth and humanity seeking membership in the Union. We submitted our application months ago, said. We've been waiting for a response. Your application was concerning, another council member said. Your world is classified as a Class 12. Your species is highly aggressive, heavily armed, and biologically dangerous. Many members feel that admitting humans would destabilize the peace we've maintained for centuries. Stepped forward, may I speak? The council looked surprised but nodded. I was one of those who feared humans, said. When they first arrived, I thought they would destroy us. They are strong, dangerous, and built for war, but I learned something important. They choose not to be monsters. They could have taken this station by force. They could have enslaved us. Instead, they saved us. They asked for nothing in return except the chance to help. Doctor joined him. I studied their biology. They are terrifying, yes, but their culture is beautiful. They value compassion, cooperation, and sacrifice. Earth made them strong, but they chose to use that strength to protect the weak. They are what we need, a small alien child said suddenly, having wandered into the command center. Bad people hurt us. The humans stopped them. We need more humans. The council deliberated. The debate was heated. Some species voted to quarantine Earth, too afraid of what humans represented. Others argued for acceptance, recognizing that the galaxy needed protectors. Finally, the vote was counted. By a narrow margin, humanity's application was approved. Welcome to the Galactic Union, the council leader said. You will be classified as a Category 1 species. This comes with restrictions and responsibilities. We understand, said, and we promise to honor those responsibilities. There is one condition, the council leader added. You must share your military doctrine and defensive strategies with Union species. Not everyone can be as strong as humans, but everyone deserves to defend themselves. Agreed, said. We'll help whoever needs it. News of humanity spread through the galaxy faster than light. The species from the impossible who fought like demons but protected like angels. Pirates and warlords heard the stories and reacted in different ways. The smart ones left civilized space. The foolish ones planned attacks, confident they could succeed where they failed. They would all learn the same lesson eventually. A week after the battle, they prepared to leave. The station crew gathered to say goodbye. Many of the aliens had become friends with the humans, learning that beneath the terrifying exterior were people who laughed, told stories, and loved their families. Sora knelt down to the small child who had watched the battle. Will you come back? The child asked. Always, Sora promised. That's the human way. We protect our friends. Even if it's dangerous. Especially if it's dangerous. As the humans prepared to transport back to their ship, approached one last time. What will you do now? Looked at the star map on his. Red markers showed distress calls from across the sector, stations under attack, colony ships in danger, people who needed help. We'll answer these calls, he said, all of them. There are so many, said. You're just one ship. For now, smiled. But there are more human ships coming, and not just from Earth. We've found other with species like us. Survivors who learn to be strong. We're building an alliance, the Coalition. To protect the galaxy. To protect those who can't protect themselves. It's what we do. They left the station and jumped to faster-than-light travel. But it wasn't alone. Across the galaxy, other human ships were receiving the same distress calls. Ships with names like Soul Star, Defender, and Guardian. They moved through the darkness of space, bringing light to those who needed it. Pirates learned to fear human ships. Slavers found their operations destroyed. Warlords discovered that threatening civilians attracted the most dangerous predators in the galaxy. And in quiet stations and peaceful colonies, children told stories about the scary, kind humans who came from the world in the galaxy and chose to make it a kinder place. Back on Earth, humanity looked up at the stars with new understanding. They weren't alone anymore. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders, but it was also dangerous, and someone needed to stand between the darkness and the light. Humans had spent millions of years learning to survive. Now they would teach the galaxy what survivors could do when they chose to protect instead of destroy. The age had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same.